Alright, welcome back to part 29 of the Bugatti Bolide design. And in this tutorial we're going to work on the rear lights and we're going to fix something on this one here. And possibly we're going to put some glass into these cutouts as well, and some glass into here as well. Alright, so let's get started. First thing I want to do here is go to appearances, and I want to remove this yellow appearance. And then what I want to do next is, since this surface is bleeding into this surface, we want to fix that. So the way we're going to fix that is we're going to go to our feature tree. We're going to click on this surface, and it gives us an idea of where that sketch might be that we're looking for. So what we need to edit is 3D sketch 124. So if you click on that and edit the sketch, right, and then come to the side view here, and what we're just going to do is going to pull this down to about here. Okay, and we're gonna have a look if that still bleeds into it. Okay, so let's have a look. All right, so it just cleared it, and then we cleared that surface, so it's not bleeding into that surface anymore. All right, so let's have a look at the surface. So it's still bleeding in there a little bit. So let's come back on the sketch and just pull it down a little bit more. And it was sketch 3D sketch 124. So edit the sketch, come back on the side view here, and just come down a little bit lower. Exit the sketch. And let's have a look at our surface. Okay, so now our surface is 100% clean and it's not bleeding into it at all. Alright, let's have a look at from here. It looks good. Alright, great. So let's get on to before I get to do something here, last time I want to add a fillet on these edges, but probably we're gonna do it after we create the this part here. Well, it's not actually, so we can add the fillet. Yeah. All right, so let's add the fillet since they knit together and it's a solid surface. So let's go to fillet and let's try 5. And these edges, 5 is probably too much. It's just true. 2. And then this side as well. And let's have a look. Alright, so that looks a lot better. So if we take out our edges here, we can see things looks a lot more beautiful. Alright, great. Let's bring back our edges here so you can see what we're actually doing. Okay. So what we are going to do is first we're going to grab a 3D sketch, a 3D center line, and we're going to bring that 3D center line from here down to this corner here. And then we're gonna grab another center line, and we're gonna bring that one from this corner down to this point here. Okay, and exit the sketch. All right. So the next sketch is going to be on this surface. So let's grab another 3D spline. And then we're going to go from this point here. And then we're just going to stay on this edge here. Okay, up to that point. Exit that sketch. And then we're gonna grab another one, and we're gonna stay in the sketch because we want this to be one sketch. And it's gonna come up on this line. And we're gonna come up all the way about here. Alright. So we leave a space about that much. And then again, another spline. And we're gonna go from that point up to here. Okay, and then we're going to grab another spline, and we're gonna go from this point to this point here. All right, and then we're just going to fix the profile on this line. So click on this line and just bring this up a little bit. Press OK. And exit the sketch. Right, next thing is going to be another 3D sketch, 3D spline. And we want to grab onto this point, and we want to be on this line, on this surface line here. I'm going to bring it here and here, exit the sketch. That's going to extrude in. I don't want it to extrude in that much. I'm going to come back to about here. So let's trim that. Let's grab another one. Here's gonna come into about that far. Right. Let's have a look from the top. That's going to be enough. That's good. And then we're going to exit the sketch. And then we're going to zoom in and hide the center line. It will hide the other ones on the other side as well. And we're just going to go to surfaces. And then we're going to do a swept surface. So we're going to choose the sketch and the direction. All right, and let's press OK. This is not bleeding into the upper surface. That's good. All right, and next thing is I'm going to grab a fill surface and just grab these edges here. That fills it up. Okay, so that one is done. This side is done. And then the next one is going to be the lower section. The lower section, and the lower section can come from this corner down. So let's grab a 3D sketch first. Center line. We want to come from this corner, so not the inside one, the outside one. And we want to be in the Y and X, obviously. I'll just pull this down to about here. All right. And then we're just going to orient this line to be all we want it to be. So we want this to be pure straight. Brush straight down about here. And let's have a look from the back. And then this one, we want to be perpendicular with this edge here. So we're gonna pull it down to here, and this way will become perpendicular. Okay, that looks good. Okay, and then we need another center line. Come from this line, and X and Y will do it. Okay, just pull it down to there, and just going to orient this line. So I'm going to be perpendicular with this line here. And we want to be about the same size as that one. And we also want to be perpendicular with this line here. Okay, and then I'm just going to check from the side. And of course you want to be perpendicular with the lower section. From this side, let's double check again from the back. So we're perpendicular there as well. And all we have to do now is just pull it back a little bit to make it a bit shorter. Yeah, so it's almost the same size. And just double check from the side. And looking good from the side as well. Okay, so now we're going to exit the sketch. And then we're going to grab another 3D sketch, another 3D spline. And we're going to connect these 2 points together. Now that's looking good. Okay. And then we're going to grab another spline. And I'll come on to up to this point. And another 3D spline. And we're going to stay on this edge. So it will automatically snap to the edge and up to that point. Exit. No, don't exit, stay in the sketch. And then from this point down to this point. All right. So now we can exit the sketch. So it becomes one sketch, of course. All right. And again, we're going to grab another 3D spline for direction. And we're going to snap onto this point and stay on this line here. And we're going to pull it up to here and just check the distance. Okay, the distance looks good. We can pull it a little forward. Exit the sketch. Okay, and just go to surfaces and do a swap surface. We're going to select the sketch and the direction. All right. And just like the other one, we're going to do a fill surface on this one. So let's go fill surface and select these edges. Let's hide this center line first. Alright, so fill surface and let's select these edges. Okay, that kept it up. Okay, so that's the lower rear light. And now we just have to mirror it over to the other side. So features, mirror. And let's select the front plane. And the body's to mirror. It's this one here. With the sides, of course, and selects everything. And then the lower section. And the sides, and it will select everything. Okay, press OK. Alright. So that completes almost completes the back part. Let's see what else we have in the back. Alright, so we still have we still need to add some chamfers to these edges on these rear lights, the way I'm looking at it here. And then we have some smaller surfaces here inside, and we have something here like a connecting plug, which will we add. So let's have a look at our surface here. So that's that corner down there. Okay, so since we have a space on the top here on the both ends, what we're going to do is delete the mirror actually. Delete the mirror, and then we're going to grab a plane. And let's add that plane here and just bring it out all the way back here. And then we're going to make a sketch on that plane. Okay, so let's convert this edge here and this edge here. Okay, and let's offset this sketch that we just made, and let's offset that to 1. Maybe 0.5, 0.5. Okay, 0.5 looks good. And let's cut the lower section, the lower sketch actually. Alright. And then we're just going to add to that sketch. Okay, and we're gonna do the same thing in the lower one as well. So let's add that offset on this one as well. And we're going to add to that sketch here. And we're going to cut the top parts. Okay. And if we go to surfaces and we try to trim some surfaces away. We'll cut that one as well. Okay, so we have a good visual on the surfaces. And let's do the same thing on the lower one as well. So let's bring up the sketch. Okay, so let's go to trim surface. Select this sketch for trimming. And we're going to trim out this top part. Just make sure that it's been selected on all ends. That's good. All right. So let's fix up the top one first. So we need a surface between this edge and this edge. So let's go to boundary surface and select this edge here and this edge. And for direction 2, let's select this edge here. Press OK. Okay, so that completes the lower section of that surface and gives us nice base. We already have the top section of that surface, which is this one. Okay, and then we're gonna do the same thing here. So you have the lower section, all we need is the top section. So let's go to boundary surface and then select this edge and select this edge here. Looks like we need to flip these connectors. And for direction 2, we're going to select this edge here. Press OK. All right, and all we have to do now is we need to cap up these ends from the inside here, if we're able to get into it. But what we're going to do to have a good visual on that, we're going to do a section view, and we're going to section view that from this angle, and let's flip that. Let's pull that back all the way about here. Press OK. And now we can see our surfaces here that we need to cap up. Alright, so let's go to fill surface and just select these edges. Okay, and then that's a filled surface. Okay, and now let's go to knit surfaces and select other surfaces. Select this filler surface and select all these faces. On the back as well. The bottom one. We already selected the top one. Okay, and once we selected all the faces on that, we're gonna come over here and create solid. Okay, so now this is one solid body. All right, so let's do the same thing with the lower one. Okay, so let's cap that up. So fill surface, and let's select the edges. Press OK. And now let's knit them together. Select all the faces. Okay, looks like we selected all the faces. Let's create a solid. Click that. Okay, so now that is one solid body as well on both ends. All right, that's good. And so before I bring back, actually, let's hide these sketches here. Okay, good. So before I bring back the, I could. Let's do that. We're gonna add a chamfer on these edges. So let's add a chamfer on this one. Let's try one on this side. And on this edge as well. So maybe 1.5 will do it. 1.3 actually. Okay, 1.3. Will 2. Let's try 2 or 3. No, 2. Yeah, 2 is good. 2 is going to look perfect. Press OK. Alright, 2 looks pretty good. Very aggressive. I love that. Alright, and let's do the same thing on the lower one. Chamfer. And let's select the top edge. And the lower edge. So 2 is too much here, so let's try 1. Maybe 1.5. 1.5. Yeah, 1.5 is good. Alright. So that's a good rear light for us. Exactly as it is on the picture. Alright. So let's mirror it over. So let's go to Feature, Mirror, and let's select the front plane. And let's clear the selections, and then let's use bodies. And let's use these solid bodies. All right, good. So we created our rear lights on this car, and now all we're going to do is hide this plane here, and then we're going to add a appearance. Let's try a low glass. Let's try dark gray on the whole car. Let's take off the edges. All right. And then we're going to apply a light structure. So let's go to lights. Let's try LED, and let's try red LED on this one. Let's copy that appearance, apply on this one. Body. All right. You can jump over here and do the same thing. Paste, mirror, and that's good. And we're going to apply them to these LEDs, which is the dome. All right. Thanks very much for staying with me in this tutorial. And in the next tutorial, we're going to continue with not fixing up, but adding maybe some couple of surfaces here, and the plug that is the electrical plug that is on that side, and add some windows in here as well. And we're getting pretty much close to finishing up this project to a point where we add our wheels. Alright, thanks very much for staying with me in this tutorial, and I hope to see you back in the next tutorial. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and share my channel. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.